Hey everybody, how you doing? I hope you're well, and I'll say happy holidays, happy Kwanzaa, Merry Christmas, happy Hanukkah, and I am really happy that you're here. I want to get this started and rolling and get this out of the way. Now, what I'm going to do is read from my prepared text, and I'll go from there. Well, folks, it looks like my friend, and I still regard him as my friend, um, still newish. Oakland District 7 Councilmember Ken Houston has enough time on his hands to make a cool meme of, well, of all people, me. Oakland vlogger and blogger Zennie Abraham, aka Zennie62. Yep, I got Councilmember Houston's early morning Facebook message with the photo of a salamander next to my face. It came at 6:28 in the morning Eastern Standard Time, which is 3:28 in the morning Pacific Standard Time, Oakland time. The meme asks, "Who's the real Slimy Salamander?" And well, if Slimy Salamander means I am getting under the skin of a councilmember I consider a friend, okay, then the answer must certainly be me, right? My question is, where does Oakland District 7 Councilmember Ken Houston find the time to make such artwork on the Oakland taxpayer dime? Now, some of you would say, wait a minute, do you know he actually did it at work? I know that he is responding to something that, well, you know what? I have to be honest with you. I really actually don't know what Ken is responding to. I really don't. Okay. So let me just continue. Um, to me, he's doing it on the Oakland taxpayer dime because he is a council member. Okay. I'm flattered that it's more important to Ken that a meme of me be made and distributed than answering some of constituents' email or returning their phone call. I'm also concerned that Ken's priorities are in the wrong place. And let me continue. Ken has a responsibility to the taxpayers who pay him to reduce crime, build Oakland's economy, and keep Oakland government running. They could care less about how he feels about an Oakland blogger, I guess. Um, Unless, of course, I manage to basically, upset Ken with some post I made, which is the whole point, folks. I don't know what triggered him, honestly. I could guess, but I don't know. All right. Um, it's not my intent, but the matter of Batman at City Council blasting Ken's homeless encampment policy was important enough to me to make a vlog about it. Some folks do not like Ken's push to, well, harass the homeless. That's how they see it. Ken should welcome debate on this important matter, not make photos of Oakland vloggers because he doesn't like the news. That said, I have to admit, I like the photo. I really do. I like the photo. Thanks, council member. Now, the next task is to refocus on the needs of unhoused Oaklanders. We have to get Councilmember Houston, Ken, a thicker skin in the process. I also think Ken's photo was PR gold, especially for me. I asked Google AI the following question: what it means when politicians make silly photos of press people. I got this answer back. When politicians take informal or silly photos of press people, it generally it is generally a calculated communication strategy intended to humanize their image, control the narrative, and subtly critique or engage with the media in an unconventional way. Here's a breakdown of what the action often means: humanizing the politician by stepping out of the format posed, photo op, and becoming the photographer. The politician presents themselves as reliable, spontaneous, and possessing a sense of humor. I hope so. This helps to build a personal connection with the public and counter perceptions of being, stiff or aloof. Impression management. The image created is a form of impression management where the politician actively shapes their public image, aiming to appear more genuine and down to earth. Candid photos can make a person more authentic, which can increase public interest and positive perception. Now, I think Google AI has a different view. If Google AI actually saw what was posted, I think Google AI's view would be slightly different. I just don't know what that would be. It all depends on how it's programmed, right? After all, it's artificial. But I continue. Role reversal and narrative control. And then it says reversing roles with the media and the subject being the photographer can be a subtle power play. It allows the politician to control the focus, even for a brief moment, and generate a new visual story that isn't entirely on the media's terms. These images are often shared on the politician's own social media channels, bypassing traditional media filters and delivering a specific message directly to their audience. Informal engagement and humor. Using humor in informal interactions is a common political communication tactic to endear themselves to constituents and show an ability to interact on a personal level. Taking a silly photo, Google AI writes, can be part of this strategy, aiming to create a positive, shareable moment, a potential meme that generates buzz and goodwill, subtle critique, or diversion. In some cases, such actions can be a subtle way of addressing or deflecting media scrutiny. By focusing the camera back on the journalists, I don't consider myself a journalist, I'm a blogger, as you know, all right? They might be implying, look at them, dynamic, shifting the focus away from a potentially tough question or a negative news cycle. Ultimately, it goes on, these images are not accidental. They are visual communication, tools designed to influence public perception and navigate the challenging relationship between politicians and the press in a visually driven world. And what I wrote here is, all I can say is bravo, Councilmember Ken Houston. And then I asked him to read my post on Oakland's bond issue. Okay. So Ken, sent something back that I have to admit was a little disturbing. Okay. First of all, I want to show you what the photo looks like that he sent. Okay. And it's this. This is what it looks like. I love this. See, question. Who's the real Slimy Salamander? Oakland Councilmember Ken Houston uses tax dollars to make meme of Oakland Blogger. Okay. I like the picture. Again, I say this. Thank you very much, Ken. Bravo. I think it's cool. You get 2 thumbs up from me. Like that. Is it again something like that? Okay. 2 thumbs up. Yeah, 2 thumbs up. All right. Cool. Now this is this other thing. Let me take this, remove that, all right? And then add this to the stage. This posting in Facebook Messenger, a little disturbing, Ken, in my opinion. All right. And it reads, this part says the photo, this is what he posted to me at 9:27 this morning. All right. Part of it. It is the wording that has the true meaning. In other words, me being a slimy salamander. No one takes you serious out here any longer. The only one that doesn't know it is you. You're a joke. You should be embarrassed. You should see people's face when your name comes up. Notice to you, keep my name out your mouth. That picture is nothing. Have a good day. And I wrote back, thank you, Councilmember. Quick question, Councilmember. If I vlog about you in your role as District 7 Councilmember, which I'm doing, by the way, given your keep my name out your mouth request, am I to understand that you would attempt to harm me or perhaps kill me because, council member, you're a public figure and you're talking to the longest serving blogger in Oakland's history. I am the first to interview a political candidate using YouTube 19 years ago, and that was Amy Allison for District 2 council. I have more Oakland-focused YouTube videos in number than any other single person or media outlet on the planet. All right? Check it yourself. Okay? So, please. I think Ken really has to understand something else too here, that there are several different items of case law that defend my right to talk about a public official. Ken doesn't understand he is now a public official. He's not John Q. Public. All right. He is in the middle, literally, of the belly of the government beast on a local level. He's a council member. I was happy, pleased as punch, told him so when he won. And I reserve the right to criticize how he may judge a policy problem, how he may handle it. All right. Or how he may respond to constituents or people like Batman speaking to him. And then, the guy, whoever Batman really is, that showed up to council on December 2nd, basically admonished him verbally in a kind way for acting like and giving off this view that he's not paying attention to him. All right. I don't know what's going on with this council, but between Ken and then Kevin Jenkins basically calling the police on Gene Hazard, I never saw anyone in Oakland's history do that as elected official. And Gene has certain problems that come with aging. I've talked to Gene about this matter, and unlike someone might think, Gene responded very understandably. He knows I'm talking with him as a loving friend. I love Gene, just like I love Ken. All right, we're all family. Now, if Ken's forgotten that, I think it's important he be reminded of that. Ken, I think it's important you be reminded of that. If you have an issue with something, just call. Like, for example, he had an issue, Ken did, with my saying that Joe DeVries, from reports that Joe DeVries got fired. And when the person that I got the information from has never misled me on any information they've given me over the decades, plural, the decades, okay, ever. And so I believe that this person was correct. And it turned out that when I said it to other people, they confirmed it. Somehow the word had gotten out that Joe DeVries, who was best known for being the city's homeless point person, was terminated. And what shocked me were the calls I got from people I didn't know. Usually I get calls from people I know when I put out something like now, or I just got a call earlier, all right, regarding the Ken issue, okay? Because this person wanted to know what's Ken bugging about, what's going on here, why is he responding? And I said to him, I really don't know. I don't know. All right. And I don't. I know I love Ken. I really do. I think Ken's an awesome person. Again, that doesn't mean I have to agree with everything that Ken does. I'm not Pamela Price, who really lethally goes after Ken in ways I think are just awful. All right. Awful. And there are other people who have issues there. I don't go there. I didn't go there. And Ken, you have to admit, I have never even ventured to that side of the playing field at all. I regard you as my friend. those issues are between you and them. And I thought they were distasteful. So, but again, I have to say this. You're a public official. You are a public official with a responsibility to Oakland taxpayers. And it's important that you realize that there are legal cases that support my stating opinion of what a public official does. All you have to do is Google it. In fact, I just did, and I'll show you the result right now, just so that you're aware of what the law says. Okay, it's very important to know where you are and what you're getting into as a council member. Key Supreme Court cases. These are legal cases. I type legal cases supporting stating opinion of what a public figure does. Let's take AI mode and see what comes up. All right. It's thinking. I like that. It's thinking. All right. It says, which response do you prefer? And it says you're giving feedback. And then, okay, here are the top results. It gives me the top results for exploring the topic. Okay. All right. But then when I click all, here is what it says. Key and AI overview. Supreme Court cases like New York Times versus Sullivan, Curtis Publishing Company versus Butts, and Gertz versus Robert Welch Incorporated establish that public figures must prove defamation by actual malice, meaning the speaker knew the statement was false or acted with reckless disregard for the truth, allowing for broad opinion expression, especially on matters of public concern to protect free speech. Though Milovich versus Lorraine Journal clarified opinions can be libelous if presented as factual assertions. There's nothing like that here. And not only that, in the case of Tyron Jordan, who's running for office, I was just talking to a friend of mine. I said, Tyron's always running. My friend said something unkind about Tyron I will not repeat. Okay? My opinion is that Tyron puts himself out there as a mayoral candidate or a city council candidate, but then he says he's not running for the same seat that his name appears on, or where his name appears in the list of candidates. There's no disclaimer by the city that says, you know, Tyron just has his name here, but don't take him seriously. He's not running. And yet Tyron essentially tells me that. Okay? I'm sorry, you don't get that option, Mr. Jordan. You have to respect, I've said this before, and I'll say it again. You have to respect the public process. If you're holding yourself out as a candidate, own it. We've had a number of people essentially use the system to gain publicity for themselves. The most in Oakland's history. The most notable person from my perspective is Larry Lionel Young. And I've written about Oakland politics since 1993 when I was Montclarian columnist, by the way. That's before I even started vlogging. All right. But Larry Lionel Young would talk about and use his websites to present real estate, his holding. Well, not holdings, but real estate he's trying to sell. Okay? That's what he was doing. And for a time, residents who paid attention to this sort of thing got pissed off and said, hey, you shouldn't be doing that. So he didn't run for a few years and he came back. I thought he was going to actually have a new strategy, which basically is everybody else's strategy, which is, hey, look, yeah, I'm running for mayor and here's why. Okay? He did some of that. But ultimately, he managed to sneak in his real estate job too. All right. We had another mayoral candidate very recently, if you remember, who was also an Olympian. Remember Elizabeth? Okay. And Elizabeth, you know, nice person who's since moved to New York. And she put herself out there, but it wasn't clear, talking about Elizabeth Swanee, it wasn't clear to some people how serious she was until she really stepped up her effort. I interviewed her twice. I like Elizabeth a lot. But Elizabeth was also with a kind of history that caused others, even those in the press, to question her motives, because she managed to sneak in as an Olympian in a very Byzantine way that I don't want to spend the time explaining here because it's just too long. The bottom line is she did become an Olympian. So you can't say, hey, you're not real. But she didn't follow the normal steps a true athlete takes to become an Olympian. Okay? It just didn't work out that way. But it got publicity for her. She understood that she was a public figure, and she walked the talk. She showed up to the forums. She made herself available to the press. She stated her ideas on different positions. There you go. All right. She did it. She did it. There's some other people who in the past would just put their name up there and we would never see them. No meetings, no callback, no videos, no nothing. All right. They would use the system just to have their name out there. It's their right to use the system to have their name out there. But I say this to you, when you do that, Tyron Jordan, you hold yourself out as a public figure. All right. Because the city lists you as a public figure. They list you as a candidate. The press lists you as a candidate. So you're going to be treated as what? A candidate. Similarly, Ken is a public figure. All right. Ken's got a huge personality. When he makes presentations, they capture your attention and imagination. Ken cares. All right. I don't know what's going on with Ken lately, but hey, in my history with Ken would make up these ideas that he and I had. He should go, Zennie, I know you and I are arguing, and I know, and I would think, I said to him, I said, Ken, what are we arguing about? Okay. And this is really basically the same thing. I used to say, I said to somebody, I said, I don't know what's going on with Ken, but he's always under the impression we're having an argument, and yet he can never tell me what we're arguing about. Just like now, I really don't concretely know what his issue is. Okay. I don't. I mean, I'd love to, but I have no idea. Is he really triggered by the whole Batman video? So now you say, okay, Zennie, show the Batman video. And I'll say, okay, I'll show the Batman video. And, really, it's a lot of nothing, when you see it. I thought it was interesting. But here it is. You be the judge of the video. I'm going to put it right here in the area right now. Stop that screen. I love StreamYard, by the way. Share screen. And here we go. Batman right here. There it is. That Batman blasts Ken Houston, which I thought showed Ken in his role as council member, right? Nice blazer, white shirt, button-down collar, right? Okay. Here. Oh, you know what? I've got to change the audio so you can actually hear it. Because if I don't, you're not going to be able to hear it. So hold on a second. Make that quick adjustment in the audio area under echo cancellation. All right. And in the words of the Squire of Gothos from Star Trek, let's have at it again. Here we are. Oops. Try that again. All right. From the San Francisco Chronicle, website section called City Brights, I gave everyone a look at a possible future then of superheroes dressed up to fight crime in Oakland. Well, really, normal citizens getting so tired of crime being so rampant that they decided they would dress up in their own favorite superheroes to fight crime. Well, folks, that fantasy is now reality in Oakland. Now, some 4 years later, he brought his act to Oakland. Man in Batman costume attends council meeting in Oakland, California. Oakland is not a real place. You know things are bad when Batman has to show up to a council meeting.
Thank you for your comments, Mr. Johnson.
And here comes Batman. Flowing cape.
Good evening. I go by Batman of San Jose. I am an advocate for the unhoused and homeless community throughout the Bay Area, but not surprised with this policy. And I want to bring you a word of warning. I've been to almost every single meeting in the Bay Area regarding a policy such as this. In every single one of these ordinances that have passed, people have died. People I know personally have died. People have taken their own lives. People have lost their lives due to exposure to the elements. And it's appalling. It's disgusting. It's revolting that there's such a policy. And I want you to pay attention to me, Houston. I would like you to pay attention to me when I'm talking. That you need to turn this policy away before more people die, because it will happen. And it is happening now. Stop this. Stop.
Thank you for your comments.
Hi, I'm Zach Stern with...
That was Batman issuing a direct comment to Oakland District 7 Councilmember Ken Houston. Ken's been a friend of mine for a long time, but I have to say, much proud of late, I'm not, because he acts like he doesn't want to listen to certain people. He can be rude at times, and it's just not the way to be as a public servant. As far as Batman's comment regarding what is the public health impacts of encampment sweeps, well, if one refers to this report issued July 2025 by an organization called NACHO, and NACHO stands for National Association of County and City Health Officials, we find this. According to the NACHO document, research indicates that policies like homeless encampment sweeps, bans, and involuntary displacement can significantly increase mortality, overdose deaths, hospitalizations, and infectious disease rates among unhoused populations, effectively costing lives by disrupting care, destroying vital supplies, meds, harm reduction tools, and scattering people into more dangerous situations, while studies suggest these methods are also costly and ineffective in the long term, with unhoused populations often returning or shifting nearby. Ken, I think Batman's got a point. Yeah, so that's it, folks. That's it, okay? And that's it.
Republicans in Congress are threatening federal judges almost...
Okay, all right, we got you. All right. That's it. Okay, that's it. And I don't see now, if you're saying, Zennie, that's it, I'm saying, yeah, that's it. There's nothing there. I don't know what else is there. I have zero idea, okay? Zero. Okay? He put what he said about me on a chat, including a number of, friends of mine in Oakland. Great. They saw it. I have witnesses. They probably don't like that they're in that position, but I'm not the one who posted the photograph in that area. Ken did. Okay? Ken did. Okay? I only responded. And I'm not the one who caused Ken to respond in a way that is essentially threatening. Basically saying to me in Messenger, the photo is only a part of it. It is the wording that has true meaning. No one takes you serious out here any longer. He actually means seriously, at any rate. The only one that doesn't know it is you. You're a joke. You should be embarrassed. You should see people's face when your name comes up. Notice to you, keep my name out your mouth. Keep my name out your mouth. That picture is nothing. Have a good day. So like I said, obviously, I'm making the point here to close. Ken, you're a public figure. I have a line of news commentary that extends all the way back to 1993, September 16th in the Montclarian. Okay? When I started off as a columnist, thanks to Chris Treadaway. And then I became Oakland's first blogger and vlogger. So I have a long history. And I know there's some people who don't like that somebody black does this sort of thing. But I don't care. Okay? I don't care. I took this, I started a new company that helps people with their online reputation. Ken, you may wind up hiring Zennie 62 Media. Would be a good idea. All right? Would be a very good idea. Ken, I think you're an awesome person. I really do. I mean that. I've said it before. I'll say it again. I've said it on video before. I'll say it again. My friend, you are also a public figure with a gigantic responsibility. You cannot afford to present yourself this way anymore. Okay? It's just not the best presentation of you. You know it, and I know it. God bless you. All right, thanks everybody for your time. Subscribe to Zennie62 on YouTube and bookmark ZennieReport.com. Yes, I'm very proud of ZennieReport.com. And if you haven't seen ZennieReport.com, I'll show you my proud new flagship. Oh, hold on a second. I think just got an update here. I've got to share. Wait a minute. If I can do so. Yep, I've got an update here. Share screen. And nope, is that it? Entire screen. Nope, not now. All right. Okay. Let's see. It says Messenger on Facebook. Okay. It is a follow-up. Let's see if I can get it there. Well, back here. Sorry, folks. I'm trying to get this in here. Share screen. Window. So it was showing Zennie Report, right? So I have to switch that out with this. So I'll do it like that. And let's see. There we are. Okay, now I'll allow. All right. Here's the latest update at the bottom. Ken just wrote, laugh out loud. This text shows me you're an idiot nowhere. I have never thought or considered any such thing. You're a straight up idiot. Okay, cool. In other words, you're not going to kill me. Okay, cool, Ken. But again, when you write stuff like this out of the blue, I have to ask the question, right? Okay. I have to ask the question. So I'll give it a thumbs up. Boom. I give him a thumbs up for all to see, all right? Oh, brother. So, you know what? Again, I hope Ken finds his better angels. Ken, God bless you, all right? See y'all later. Bye-bye.